Good afternoon. Welcome to Yoga for Beginners. My name is Lydia, and I'll be guiding you through this beginner practice this afternoon. And go ahead and grab some blocks if you have them close by. This can just help to more easily access certain poses that we're going to be moving into today. And I'd like to start by just coming to a nice seated posture on your block. So we'll come to a cross-legged seated posture, and sitting on the block just helps to lift the hips and bring the spine into more of a neutral alignment. Sit up nice and tall and start to ground down through your sits bones. Draw your shoulders back and down as you lift up through the crown of your head. You can give a nice soft gaze toward the floor or even close the eyes, whatever feels good and comfortable to you. Here, just breathing in and out through the nose. Becoming aware of the breath. Moving into three-part breathing. On your next inhale, we're going to start to fill the belly and allow the rib cage to expand. Notice your chest rise. As you exhale, chest will lower. Begin to hug the ribs in and gently draw the navel toward the spine. You want to keep this going here. Inhaling, filling the lower, middle, and upper parts of the lungs. Exhaling, reversing, upper, middle, and then emptying out the lower parts of the lungs by drawing the navel in. Keep going. Keep breathing. Gently blinking the eyes open. As we move through our practice, just remembering that the breath is your main focus. You're looking for effortless ease in your postures. So you should be able to continue to breathe freely without restriction as you move in and out of each pose. From here, let's just turn and gaze over the right shoulder. And then maybe exhale and start to gaze down towards your mat. Breathe into the left side of the neck and just start to open up any tight areas here. Inhale, lift the gaze and turn back towards the center. Exhaling, looking over left shoulder, and then again gazing towards the mat. Opening up the right side of the neck and down into the shoulder. Breathing here. Inhale, lifting the gaze and turning back to center. Give just a few shoulder rolls back and forward. And then we'll just start to prepare the wrists because we're going to come into some poses that is going to require some pressure into the hands and wrists. So bringing the hands together, interlacing fingers, forearms are together, and just full circles all the way around. Breathing here. Switching directions. Inhale as you press the palms, round your shoulders, and maybe bring your chin to chest for just a moment. Exhale, release. Re-interlace your fingers behind the body and start to press down through the tops of the hands. Lift up through the heart as you inhale, look up, or maybe just keep the gaze forward. Exhale, release the hands, shake it out just a bit. Let's go ahead and come off of the block and extend the legs out in front. Always after sitting for a little while, just shaking out the legs for a moment, shaking out the leg bone from the hip socket, and then maybe pointing and flexing the feet a few times. Loosen up. And then scooting the leg bone back into the hip socket will work on ankle circles, pressing down beside the hips here. If your hands don't reach your mat, here's where the blocks come in handy. You can place them next to your hips, press down here, and start to make some circles with the ankles. So as you move towards the body, you're inhaling. As you're pressing away, you're exhaling. And you can do this as quickly or as slowly as you like. And then making sure to move in both directions. And then pointing and flexing the feet a few times. From here, we're just going to swing the feet around and make our way into a tabletop position. Working on some spinal movements here. Coming into your tabletop, make sure your knees are under your hips, wrists are under your shoulders. Inhale and look towards the top of your mat. Exhale, draw your navel in. We're going to inhale, start to lift up through the heart, look forward. Exhale, chin to chest, round your spine, tuck your tailbone. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, draw the navel in. Inhale, lift up, look forward. Exhale, round, tuck your tailbone. Come back to neutral. Draw your navel in on your exhale. And one more time, inhaling, lifting up through the heart. Exhale, round. Inhale back to neutral, and we'll just do a few table to child movements here. So inhale, exhale, press the hips back. Inhale to table. Exhale, press it back. Inhale back to table. From here, we're going to just make some circular motions. We're going to inhale forward, exhale back. So you're pressing the hips back. We're moving in one direction here. And then go ahead and make your way back to center in your tabletop. From here, we're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So you're going to tuck your toes under and you're going to start to lift your knees and press your hips back. So pressing your sits bones towards the opposite side of the room, and then starting to walk it out here, pressing down through each heel. And then maybe gazing towards the navel. And then pressing both heels down. If your heels don't make it all the way to the mat, maybe shorten your stance. Breathe, one more breath. Inhale and look between the hands, and go ahead and step the right foot between the hands. Drop the left knee, shin, and top of the foot. Bring your blocks under your hands here. So we're in our low lunge, and in your low lunge, you want to make sure that your knee and your ankle are in line. You can deepen this stretch by tucking the back toes under and starting to walk that knee back just a bit. You're starting to press your left hip forward. If this is too deep, and maybe you can shorten it up a bit, right? So you just start to walk the knee back forward. So if you're here, that's okay. It's your practice. And you can even, adjust your blocks to wherever is comfortable for you. You can keep the back toes under just to protect the knee if you have any knee issues. All right, so find your best place here. And we're just going to start we'll inhale here, and then we're just going to start to exhale and press the hips back. Flex the foot. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale, press it back. And then go ahead and inhale back into that low lunge. This time, we're going to interlace the fingers on top of that right thigh. So you're here, you're lifting up through your heart and through your crown. Your gaze is forward. Your shoulders are relaxed, and we'll take one more breath here. On your next exhale, bring your hands back down to your mat or your blocks. We're going to go ahead and scoot the blocks out of the way here. We're going to slide this right foot back to meet the left. You're going to tuck your toes under, and we're going to come into another downward facing dog. So when you're ready, inhale here. Exhale, draw your navel in. And then when you're ready, go ahead and start to lift the knees. Press the hips back. We're coming back into that downward facing dog. Again, if you need to walk it out a little more here, that's okay. Keep moving. Pressing both heels down. You're going to inhale, look between the hands. This time we're going to step the left foot between the hands. Drop your right knee, shin, and top of the foot. Grab your blocks. Check your alignment. Left knee and ankle should be in line with each other. And from here, inhaling here, and then exhaling, pressing the hips back. Staying aware of Maybe try to keep the hips square. So you want your hips nice and square. One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale, press it back. Inhale forward. Exhale. And we're going to come on up, interlace the fingers on top of the left thigh this time. And again, pressing that right hip forward, keeping the heart lifted, keeping the shoulders relaxed, and gazing forward. Breathe. Exhale, bring your hands back to your blocks. We're going to go ahead and scoot the blocks out of the way again. Bring your hands back down to your mat. Slide that left foot back to meet the right. Inhale here, look towards the top of your mat. Exhale, press the hips back. Go ahead and make your way into a nice extended child's pose. Tip of your forehead relaxed on your mat. Forearms relaxed on your mat. Take a breath. This time we're going to inhale, look between the hands and start to reach for the top of the mat. Exhale, ears in line with the arms. So your arms are active and nice and long. One more time, inhale. Exhale. This time we're going to inhale and come forward. You'll notice that because you've reached your hands a little further forward on the mat, when you come up this time, you're going to be in a modified plank position. So again, your wrists are under your shoulders. You don't want your booty to be up. You don't want to sag the belly, but you want to come here nice and strong and firm. Arms are nice and strong. Every time you exhale, drawing that navel in, protecting your low back by keeping the belly engaged. So from here, look forward just a bit. We're going to inhale, exhale, and slowly lower down all the way down to the mat, keeping the elbows tucked in. Go ahead and shake out the hips a little bit once you make it here. And bring the hands just a little further forward. You want them, tips of the fingers, to be in line with the tips of the shoulders. Keep your elbows tucked in nice and tight. We're going to start to press down through the tops of the feet and the legs. And on your next inhale, you're going to gently press into the hands, lift the head, lift the heart. On your next inhale, you're going to gently press into the hands, lift, and press the hips back. Child's pose. Inhale, look between the hands, reach for the top of your mat. Exhale, ears in line with arms. Inhale, modified plank. Tuck your toes under from here, lift your knees, coming into full plank position. Inhale. Exhale, press the hips up and back. Find your downward facing dog from here. Looking towards the navel, pressing those sits bones back towards the opposite side of the room. Nice strong arms, nice strong legs. Inhale, look between the hands. And just slowly start to make your way towards the top of your mat, walking towards the top of your mat, making your way into a nice forward fold. Our first forward fold. From here, you can bring your blocks here if you like. You can start to bend your knees in and out. So every time you exhale, bend the knees, and then inhale, lift your sits bones, and make your way a little deeper into your forward fold. You're looking to bring your belly towards your thighs, and that doesn't happen for you, it's okay. It's just maybe a goal. Maybe it never happens, and that's okay too. And then maybe scooting the blocks out of the way and just grabbing the elbows and swaying a little side to side. One more breath here. Release the grip. And on your next inhale, you're going to start to roll up as if there is a wall behind you. So you're going to keep your chin tucked. Your head's going to come up last. Slowly inhaling. All the way back up to standing. Head comes up last once you make it here. Just a few shoulder rolls. Back and forward. Toes nice and wide for good energy flow here. So we're at the top of the mat. Go ahead and bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift up through your crown. Put a slight bend in the knees, just a slight bend. And as you do, your tailbone drops, your spine comes into a more of a neutral alignment. And then just start to sway around a little bit on the soles of your feet. And you're just noticing your points of contact, right? So you're looking for 4 points of contact on the soles of the feet, 2 in the ball of the foot, and then 2 at the heel. Inhale deeply. Exhale, draw the navel in. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale deeply. Exhale, draw your navel in. All right. So from here, we're going to inhale. Into your forward fold. Again, bending the knees in and out, opening up the hamstring. Allow your head to be heavy here. No gripping in the neck or the shoulders. We're going to inhale, come up halfway. So coming up halfway, you're going to bring your hands just under your knees. Your gaze is going to be slightly forward. Then you're going to exhale and fold once more. Inhale again, come up halfway. Exhale, drawing the navel in, folding. Inhale, come up halfway. This time we're going to exhale, bring the hands to the mat. Step your right foot back towards the back of your mat. All right. So we're in a nice high lunge. You can use your blocks if you need. Nice strong legs here. All right. So we're going to do the same thing that we did in our low lunge, where we're just inhaling here, and we're going to exhale, press it back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Try to keep your hips nice and square. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Fold. Inhale back into your high lunge. Step your right foot up to meet the left. Fold. On your next inhale, rolling all the way back up, one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. Shoulder rolls. Arms down by your sides. Find your equal standing posture. Inhale, lift up through your crown. Exhale, draw the navel in. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up halfway once more. Exhale, fold. You can bring your blocks here if you like. Place them beside your feet. We're going to step the left foot back towards the back of the mat this time. We're coming into a nice high lunge on the right side. Again, you always want to check your alignment. Knee and ankle are in line with each other. And we're going to do again just like we did in our low lunge. If this is too much, you can always bring the back knee down and do this again in your low lunge. So we're inhaling here, exhaling, straightening the front leg, pressing the hips back, folding. Inhale, forward. Exhale, press back. Squaring off the hips here. Inhale, forward. Exhale, press back. Inhale, forward. Step the left foot up to meet the right. Fold. Scoot your blocks out of the way. And then inhale your way all the way back up to standing. Head comes up last. All right, maybe shake out the legs for just a moment. That's a lot of work on the legs. We're going to come to the top of the mat, and you're going to turn so you're not facing to the top of your mat, more towards the side of your mat. Your feet are hip distance. You're going to bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift up through your crown. Exhale, slight bend in the knees. We're going to inhale and step the left foot out. Nice wide step to the left. We're coming into a wide leg stance here. You want your toes in and your heels slightly out. On your next inhale, bring your arms to shoulder height. All right, so we're here. We're going to work on pressing through the palms on the next inhale. So we're in a 5-pointed star. All right, so we're just pumping the arms back and forward just a bit. Opening up the heart center. Preparing. Keep breathing. And then back to palms facing down, nice strong arms here. We're going to turn the left toes out. All right, so we're going to make our way into Warrior Two. We did this last week, but I just want to go over it once more. You're going to make sure that your heels are in line. So just take a look Make sure your left heel and your right heel are in line with each other. Your legs are strong. Your arms are nice and strong. You can put a slight bend in the elbow, and that just helps with some energy flow. On your next exhale, start to bend into that left knee. So the weight is evenly distributed, right? You want more of the weight on the outside edge of that back foot. You're bending deeply into the front to that left knee, but make sure that your knee and your ankle are in line. And then also make sure that your knee is not dipping in. If it is, just give it a little nudge. Let it know where you want it to go. And we'll take one more breath here in this nice, strong Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Turn the left toes in. Bring your hands back to your hips. Just take a break here for just a moment. Prepare yourself for the other side. Check your stance. This time we're turning right toes out. We're checking our alignment. Heels in line here. Back toes are in slightly. Inhaling, arms to shoulder height. Maybe gazing over the right fingertips as we start to bend into that right knee. Nice, strong arms, nice, strong legs. Check your alignment. Don't let that knee dip in. One more breath. Inhale, straighten the leg. Turn the toes back in and bring your hands back to your hips. Let's bring the blocks out in front of us. So if you need to step away for a moment, grab your blocks. Come back into your wide leg standing posture. And you want your blocks out in front at their highest height. We're going to come here with hands to hips, wide legs, heels out, toes slightly in. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale and start to hinge at your hip creases. So we're folding forward at the hips. You don't want to press the hips back, but you want to start to lean forward just a bit. Grab your blocks. So we're in a nice forward fold, wide leg forward fold. And then from here, we're going to start to press the hips back into more of a wide leg down dog. So inhale here, exhale, press the hips back and start to walk the blocks a little more forward, right? Relax the head and ears in line with your arms. Take one more breath. Inhale, look between the hands, and we're starting to walk the blocks back towards the mat. Maybe even directly under the face. Take your time here, take your time. Bring your hands back to your hips, and inhale your way back to standing. A few shoulder rolls. We're just going to start to walk the feet back in. So just heel toeing back towards an equal standing posture. You can move your blocks out of the way now. All right. So from here, let's go ahead and come down to the mat. We're going to come to the knees. All right, so you're inhaling here. You're on your knees. Your knees are hip distance. All right, so inhale. Exhale, draw the navel in. On your next inhale, you're going to step the right foot out, and you want your foot in line with your knee, okay? So you're inhaling here. Exhaling, you're drawing the navel in. You're pressing out through the outside edge of that extended foot. Go ahead and inhale your arms to shoulder height. Exhale and start to lean towards the right. You're going to bring your right hand towards the outside edge of that right foot. Start to lift and maybe look up through the left fingertips. One more breath. Inhale, come back to center. And this time, you can use a block if you'd like. We're here at center, and we're going to exhale, lean into the block on the opposite side. Reach fingertips, right fingertips towards the ceiling. Maybe look towards the fingertips, or keep your gaze forward. Maybe you want your gaze towards your mat because you're feeling a little unbalanced here. When you're ready, we're going to inhale back to center. Exhale, right knee comes in. Maybe sit on your heels for just a moment. It's a pretty deep stretch. We're going to move the block over to the opposite side this time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back onto the knees. Exhale, draw your navel in. Inhale as you extend the left leg. So check that the inside arch of the foot and the knee are in line, okay? We're going to inhale, arms to shoulder height. Exhale, start to hinge at your hips. We're bringing left hand to the outside edge of that left leg, not on the knee. You can bring your hand to your thigh or even to outer calf muscle, and then start to reach for the ceiling with the right fingertips. You can look, bring your gaze towards the ceiling, or just keep your gaze forward, or maybe towards your mat. Breathe into the side body. One more breath. Inhale, center. And this time, we're using the block on the side now. We're exhaling, hinging at the hips. Bringing that right hand to the block. Reaching fingertips towards the ceiling. Here, you can gaze towards the ceiling, forward, or even towards your mat. Whatever feels good to you. One more breath here. Inhale back to center. Exhale, draw that left knee in. Sit back on your heels. Move your blocks out of the way. Make your way towards the top of your mat with your knees bent. Bring your hands behind your knees. Sit up nice and tall. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, start to lean back into your hands. Tuck your tailbone and make your way onto your back. Draw your knees towards your chest. Your neck is long on your mat. Relax your head and your shoulders and just give a few rocks side to side. And maybe a few knee circles if it feels good to you. In both directions. Inhale, press the knees away. Bring your feet out to either edge of your mat, arms out to your sides, palms facing up. You're going to inhale here at center and exhale and allow the knees to drop over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale towards the right. Inhale back to center. Scoot your heels back in so that they're hip distance apart. Knees are hip distance. Feet are hip distance. Cross your right leg over your left. And maybe scoot your hips just slightly over to the right side edge of your mat, just a little bit. Inhale here at center. Exhale, allow the knees to drop over to the left. So you want the knees to drop over just as far as the right shoulder stays on the mat. You want to keep that right shoulder on the mat. You can always use a block under the knee. And then maybe gazing over the right shoulder. Nice long exhales here. Bringing both arms back out to a T, shoulder height. Inhale your knees back to center. Scoot your hips back towards the center of your mat and uncross your legs. We're going to do the other side. So crossing right leg over left this time. Scoot your hips just slightly towards the left. Inhale. Exhale, knees drop over to the right. Again, just as far as that left shoulder stays on your mat. Bringing right hand to that top knee. Maybe gazing over the left shoulder. Nice long exhales. One more breath. Arms come back out to a T. Inhale your knees back to center. Uncross your legs, recenter yourself here. Inhale. Exhale, draw the knees in close. Inhale. Exhale, hug the right knee in, extend your left leg. Inhale. Exhale, switch. Inhale. Exhale, hugging both knees in once more. Inhale, press your knees away. Extend your legs the length of your mat. And on your next inhale, reach overhead for a nice full body stretch. Bend your knees. Roll over onto the side body. And use your hands and forearms to inhale your way back into a seated posture. Coming back to seated. Back into your seated posture with your chin tucked, your shoulders relaxed, crown lifting. Maybe closing the eyes once more. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Bring your hands together at heart center. Thank you so much for sharing this beginner yoga class with me today. Please enjoy the rest of this beautiful Monday. Namaste.